And in Psalm 138, verse 8, he said, God will perfect that concerneth me. So to assess your kingship, the first thing you need is what? Warfare. Every destiny is surrounded by warfare. It is your contention, understanding warfare, that determines your welfare. And when you get your welfare, you will be well fed. War surrounds your testimony. You see, don't copy. You see, don't act like Solomon, who you think had no war to fight. David contended for Solomon, 66 battles and 1 all. But when Solomon became a king, he operated warfare, but with wisdom. Solomon married 700 wives, 300 concubines. Not because he was promiscuous. It was strategy. Solomon had 700 cities around him and 300 regions. So he picked a princess each from the palace. So no king could fight him because you can't fight your in-law. You are putting your hands on your head. You didn't know that. All of them were in-laws, so no king could fight him. You set up a war. Your daughter is in the palace. 1,000. He didn't know all of them. Solomon was not calling the wives by name. He was calling them by codes. Florence 202. So sometimes God does not consult with your present to determine your future. God does not consult with your present to determine your future. Warfare! Because there are many things and people around you. You know, God, there are 2 people God told us to love. He said, love your neighbor. In other words, he said, love your enemies. Only those 2 people. Love your neighbor, love your enemies. Because your enemies are amongst your neighbor. Love your neighbor, love your enemy, because your neighbors are your enemies. Those you think are close to you are your problem. To assess your throne as a king, you need power. I love power. I love power. If there's anything that attracted me to Papa over 25 years ago, is power. Somebody say power. Somebody say power. Somebody say power. That was what attracted me, sir. Power. We are in a generation that if you lack power, this world is too busy to know you. Power. Dimension. And what does it take to enjoy this power? To assess it. Hunger. Somebody say hunger. Say hunger. Hunger. Moses said, show me thy glory. And God said, there is a side by me. There is a side by me. No man seeth me and live. But yet Moses said, I want to see you. In other words, if it takes my life, let me see you. And God said, you won't see me. I will show you my hinder part. I will show you my back. Now, did Moses see the back, the literal back of God? No. Because if God says no man sees me and live, his back is a part of him. Your back is a part of you. So what does God mean by telling Moses, I will show you my hinder part? He was telling Moses, I will show you where I'm coming from. Who wrote Genesis? Was he there? Was he there? God said, I will show you where I'm coming from. In the beginning, God created. Was Moses there? In fact, Moses wrote where God was coming from and wrote where Moses was going to. It was Moses that wrote and Moses died. Oh, you are not following what I'm saying. Papa, it was Moses that wrote Deuteronomy. He wrote and Moses died. When he wrote Moses died, he was still alive. Hunger. Moses walked. Moses saw a side of God. Moses became a god. He became a celestial. That is why men could not kill him. It took God to kill him. Because terrestrials don't kill celestials. Men can't kill God. After Moses died and God buried him. Satan requested for his body because they needed to take it to their zoo to understand how can a man be so close to God that he became a god. Papa, I tell you today, I've never said this to you. One thing I saw in you was prayer. Those who know me complain. You fast, you pray, you fast. I tell them, this is the only key I've seen in the life of men who are still standing. 51 years of ministry. You were preaching in Puerto Rico years ago. I watched the tape now. That time your hair plenty. And he said, I can't leave my house without doing at least 5-6 hours. You know, there are things people get from a meeting, but there are things I get. I don't listen to men's success. I listen to the process. No, I'm honest with you. If I tell you now that I'm poor, I'm unfair to you. If I tell you now that God has not blessed me, I'm unfair. It's not humility. I'm lying. If you still know how much you have in your account, you are broke.